Good morning. Today is Thursday, May 22nd. This is Wake Up with KERA News, and I'm Andrew Garcia. We've got a pretty good chance of thunderstorms starting this afternoon and later into tonight as well. The main possible threat being large hail, so be on the lookout this afternoon. Highs for today will reach into the lower 90s, lows in the 60s. Texas lawmakers found high-speed police chases contributed to the delayed law enforcement response to the Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde. We'll learn more about what happened after the news. A Supreme Court order this week clears the way for the Trump administration to revoke temporary protected status for roughly 350,000 Venezuelan nationals living in the U.S. TPS offers protection from deportation amid the humanitarian crisis in Venezuela. Dallas immigration attorney Oscar Escoto says he and his clients are now waiting for the case to go to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals later this year. He says TPS holders can also apply for other immigration protections, including asylum. This week, Fort Worth ISD approved one of its largest school closure plans to date, but they say the work is just beginning. The district plans to redistribute the $77 million the district will save from the closure back to the classrooms. The district will also work on adjusting attendance boundaries and preserving key academic offerings. Saturday marks the third anniversary of a gunman killing 21 students and teachers at Uvalde's Robb Elementary School. Among the often reported but seldom explored facts of the tragedy is one key finding of a special Texas House Committee investigation. Bailouts occurred so often that Texas lawmakers found the issue contributed to school officials' delayed response to the shooting. The term bailout describes when a driver in a high-speed chase stops the car or crashes it to run out and escape. Those pursuits aren't as frequent anymore, likely because of shifts in federal policy and migration trends. But as KERA's Tolawani Osibamawo reports, residents in the Uvalde area are still dealing with layers of trauma.
Sarah Reyes and her husband are from Del Rio, but they find themselves in Uvalde often for cook-offs like this one. It's part of a special scholarship fundraiser for McKenna Elrod Seiler. Seiler was a 10-year-old Robb student killed in the shooting. Reyes remembers visiting the shell-shocked town afterward. She also remembers a time before that, when car chases and bailouts seemed to be the region's biggest concern.
Border Patrol choppers were all day, all night, non-stop. With their spotlights in our backyard. We have a little RV. They would ask probably once or twice a week if they could check our RV, make sure nobody broke in. It was really scary.
Robb Elementary sent out emergency alerts nearly 50 times months before the shooting. Bailouts prompted an estimated 90% of those alerts. Local law enforcement says the drivers who bailed out were often suspected human smugglers traveling with people without legal status. Uvalde Police Chief Homer Delgado says any person might take an offer to transport people for what they believe is easy money.
That money's hard to turn down, especially with our economy the way it is. And if you can make a fast $3,000 to $5,000 by transporting 4 people, you're driving home anyway.
Businesses and property are also at risk during these pursuits. Caleb Hill does ranching and hunting work in Brackettville. He says drivers in pursuits would plow through the fence and gate at the ranch where he works.
We already have enough problems with other things when it comes to ranching, so to have to deal with consistent repairs and fixing things all the time, on top of everything else on the day-to-day, it was frustrating, very frustrating.
And these pursuits, as always, can be a deadly endeavor for all involved. As of January, at least 115 people have died in Border Patrol-involved vehicle pursuits since 2010. That's according to the American Civil Liberties Union of Texas. Other reports find hundreds more have been injured in police chases at the border, including innocent bystanders. Small engine repairman Mario Valdez says it's a lot to heal from.
Through all this ordeal, especially in the Robb incident and the chases that the people have suffered either a loss of somebody that passed away or they've been injured, we're healing. It's a slow process coming together as a community. That is very important.
For some, the fault lies solely with people going to dangerous lengths to escape law enforcement. Others say stricter border enforcement and department policies without enough restrictions on chases are to blame. Here's political science professor Brad Jones from the University of California, Davis.
With increased restriction and restricted entry at ports of entry, history's shown us that migrant crossers or asylum seekers will take greater risks to get into the country.
Pursuits have been on the decline since last year. Delgado, the Uvalde police chief, says he expects they'll rise again as agencies pursue past and current human smuggling warrants. But he says dealing with pursuits, especially after the mass shooting, taught him to take a trauma-informed policing approach.
That's why we try to keep these pursuits out of town, because any little thing that we can do to help our community get better. And if that means making sure that we don't have any lights and sirens and things flying through town, which no town wants, but especially ours, we try to do our best to keep it out of town.
If nothing else, he says that goal remains the same.
That was KERA's Tolawani Osibamowo reporting. The Stars beat the Edmonton Oilers last night in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, in a statement win for the team. Dallas was down 3-1 going into the third period, hoping to make a bit of a comeback, and by golly did they, scoring 5 goals to take the win 6-3. And the Dallas Wings fell to the Lynx, but it's not all bad. It was their closest game of the year so far against a championship-caliber team in Minnesota. And the Wings Stars both had a strong showing, with Arike Agumbawale scoring a season-high 21 points, and Paige Beckers notching her first WNBA double-double with 12 points and 10 assists. If anticipating the Memorial Day weekend has you feeling kinda hungry, head to Dan's Bagels in Trophy Club. They're serving barbecue bagel sandwiches in collaboration with the original Roy Hutchins Barbecue. Or you can try their special red, white, and blue rainbow bagel through the long weekend. Find more info and some other fun things to do on our Go See DFW calendar at kera.org/calendar. Thanks so much for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. This show is produced and edited by Shardae White and Bekah Morr. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter and get some good morning vibes from our colleague Catherine Hobbs. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. It's nearly Friday. We'll see you tomorrow.